tell all my brothers and sisters. You know, God asked me to give a testimony. And for those who know me, the answer was no. It's like, no, don't think I want to do that. He said, I want you to give your testimony. I said, no, I don't think I want to do that. And then he says, I wasn't asking. Oh, okay, then I guess I'm doing a testimony. And the testimony is very interesting. When everyone wakes up in the morning when it's your birthday, you're excited and you're happy. Well, the devil's been chasing me before birth. My mother died on my birthday. She died of childbirth. So every morning when I wake up, I have the remembrance of her dying and her giving me life, because it was a choice she made, either her or me. The devil tried, but he lost. I still was born. So every morning at 18th of October, I wake up somber, but I end up celebrating the rest of the day because it was a gift from God that my mother chose life for me. That was hard to hear. And then you think, okay, couldn't get any worse. Well, it did. When I was 3.5, Satan decided that it wanted to steal my beauty. And so, me being the 3-year-old, I pushed up, the stove was there, and I pushed a chair up to the stove. And I got over, and I saw my eggs were boiling. And as I got down, I hit the handle, and the hot water went all over me. And I saw my skin fall off. And I also saw something that's more miraculous. I wasn't screaming because Jesus had took my place, and I was with him. Then they took me to the hospital, and they told my mom that, Miss Jackson, there's nothing we could do for her because the way the burns are, they're on her chest. So she flatlines. We can't exactly do anything because it's right on the muscle. And of course, you know what happened. And I'm walking with Jesus. I'm like happy. Yeah, with Jesus. And then I heard my mama's voice. Little girl, I lost 3 kids, your mama and a husband, and I am not about to lose another. You get your little butt back here, please. I said, Jesus, I gotta go. My mama's calling me. I came back. If I would have known what I was gonna go through, I think I would have stayed with Jesus. Because see, being burned was difficult because kids love to make fun of you. And my burns was evident because see, it wasn't just the burns that was the problem. My skin tone was nothing like the rest of my family. So that means they had to cut off my skin on the other side to put on the other side. So I was just a big sore. So you're laying there, and I'm like, wow, okay. And they have the mirrors covered so you can't see yourself. Being me, I managed to get up, go to there, and tuck it down, and I saw myself, and I decided at that moment, I will never look at this side because that's where all the burns were. So I could see this side was okay, but this side, not gonna do it. So came home from the hospital about 6 months later. This lady came, I'm from Oklahoma. So what happens there is we get our eggs and milk fresh. So the person brings it to us. And there was this beautiful German woman who used to come and make strudel and everything. And so she comes and she goes, where's my Liebling? And my mom said, she doesn't want anyone to see her. And she goes, but she's lovely. She doesn't want anyone to see her. So I hid behind her. She goes, I'll be back. This woman had broken English. It was just German English. So she went and she came back with this strudel. And I saw the strudel and I grabbed it and she grabbed my hands and she said, you are wunderbar. And I never forgot that. You are Liebling, you're love, you're wunderbar, you're wonderful. I never forgot that. So as I kept growing, I got mad at my mom one day. She thought she was going to punish me like most parents think they do. I'm not the kind of person you really want to punish. So she sent me to my room. Didn't work out well. So I'm in the room and I'm talking, I'm having a tea party. She comes busting through the door. Who are you talking to? I said, well, you told me to go to my room. I go, she goes, yeah. I said, well, I got Jesus over here, God here, Satan here. But Satan is bound and he can't talk. He can only listen to us because I don't want to hear from him. And she goes, okay, your time is out. Come out of the room. This is, no more rooms for you. And she goes, why did you do that? I said, because God talks to me even when I'm a child. And one of the things, I got baptized very early, spoke in tongues very early. And the song that you heard Melissa sing, which is the Lord's Prayer, it really is my anthem because I grew up with the song. That song speaks to me even when I'm sleeping. It sleeps with me. It's on me. It's in me, every word, everything, because it's everything. And so, as I go on, I'm thinking, okay, I'm skipping school. Okay. The next time Satan tried to steal my voice, I was doing a backflip in the front yard, and my retainer got caught up in my throat. So, you know what happened. Emergency air flight. They had to cut the throat open, get it out. And they go, Miss Jackson, what is up with your daughter? She goes, yes, Satan's chasing her. She's got a serious calling on her life. And I thought, man, this has got to be over. Well, it never is. See, Satan doesn't care about your past. He cares about your future. And he must know something that we don't know about our future. And all my life, he's chased me. And I'm just going to scoot up some to the most important part of this. I was working for 15 years in a place, and I got so content working there. God had asked me to quit, and I told him no. God also wanted me to write some scripts. I said, I don't have time. I said, okay. And then God said to me, I want you to get the person you love the most out of that place, and when they leave, you must follow. That person I love left. 7 months later, I got fired. I've never been fired in my life. I was devastated because this happened right before the awards. And I'm sitting there going, really? I'm fired? Are you serious? And God says, I told you to quit. I went, yeah, you did. He goes, you chose not to. There's consequences to things. And I sat there and I went, okay. Now I want you to put everything into red letter. I said, okay. And then he said, why are we as Christians so content to take the scraps off the floor when he wants to give us the table? See, I was content. I was afraid. I was afraid to step out on what God had told me. And because of that, the consequences of that is this. There was a little girl that I've known for 8 years. I will no longer have a relationship with this young girl because of my job, because I don't want to confuse her, because my boss is her dad. Consequences. If I would have left, I would have had a relationship with my baby. And because I didn't, I don't. And I've been a part of this girl's life from when she was born. And we talk about God, and she got baptized. She's a beautiful girl. But because she goes in and she looks for me at this place, and I'm not there, she doesn't understand what happened. So when I talked to her mother said she's confused. And she doesn't know what to do with the confusion. So I said this. I know my boss. And I said, I will pull away. I will pack off. And when the time is ready, just send me pictures of my baby. That, my darlings, is the consequences of not listening to God. The most precious thing that you love can be taken away. If I would have listened to God, I would have a relationship with that young lady today. So my thing to you is, don't be content. Step out on God. He is so worth it. Don't let fear interrupt your will. Don't let fear get in the way, because fear will stop you in every way possible. This is what Ben was talking about when I called him. Because see, Ben knew that in March I had a full-on car accident. This year's been weird. And he's like, the devil is really chasing you. I walked away, guys. My car was totaled with a scratch on my nose. That's God. And so putting this together wasn't easy, but it is God. And sometimes God doesn't give us easy things, but he does make it worth it. So my thing to you is, I can go on all the mishaps in my life. But the one I want to tell you about the most is the World Trade Center. I was happy living in Connecticut. I did not want to move back to California. I fought God for 2 years. I said, no, I'm not moving back, not doing this. I want to go work at Windows of the World. Because my sister restaurant was in Connecticut, and I had a job there, and I had an interview, and I had the job, and I can go work at Windows of the World. I want to work at Windows of the World. Well, if you don't know where Windows of the World is, it's the World Trade Center, the top. I finally listened to God, and I moved into my apartment September the 1st, 2001. If I would not have listened, I would have been in the World Trade Center. I lost many friends from that restaurant and people that I worked with. Sometimes you have to really listen. That was a moment. Those moments in my life happens over and over and over. Sometimes God says, don't go down that road. I don't know why. I don't go down. Then I found out there was an accident. It's like, okay, could have been me. Thank you, God. Thank you, praise the Lord. Okay, let me do the hallelujah dance. I finally got it. So I tell you this because when we listen to God, the angels are so excited for what he's about to do. And Ben stepped in and got a place for me to have this event next year in Tennessee, and I don't have to pay anything for it. And that was, it's mind-boggling for me. And so that's what I want to tell you guys. Your testimony is so important because, see, I know what the other side is like. Because when I left God at 18, consciously knowing that I left him, and I went straight in to the world of heavy metal. I had a mohawk, I had blonde hair, I did it all. The only thing I didn't do was drugs. And this is what me and Ben laughed about. The drug of choice for me was Mountain Dew. And everyone laughed, but it was, back then that Mountain Dew was fully leaded. It was, whoo. And everyone asked me, why didn't I do drugs? You're back there with Megadeth and Motorhead. Why didn't you do drugs? And this was a simple answer. I come from Oklahoma. My grandmother threatened to kill me if I ever did drugs. And how did she do that? She pulled out her shotgun and said, you do drugs, click, click, that's what's going to happen. So every time I saw drugs, I hear click, click in my head. I'm like, yeah, death by mom, death by drugs. I'm all right, don't need to give my Mountain Dew. People don't understand. A parent's words will reverberate in their brain if it's strong enough. Her words kept me from ever doing drugs. And let me tell you, I had every drug known to man. My whole band was on drugs. I was the only one not for 16 years. And so I'm here to tell you that sometimes a praying mom, all the mothers out there who are praying, please keep praying for your kids because they will return to what they know. And that is you and your love and the love that you've shown them with God. And the praying fathers, it's the same thing. Don't stop praying for your sons because they hear you and they need you. So my testimony is this simple. Devil has been chasing me and he will continue to chase me, but he will never win because I am a child of God. Thank you.